Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In today's episode, we're in beautiful California, and more specifically in the Westwood area of Los Angeles. And this area is really awesome because it is a university town, so there's a lot of nightlife, a lot of day life, there's a lot of restaurants and things to do, and there's a lot of young people around. But also, most importantly, there is also UCLA, which is a typical university here in California. And well, since I am European, I've always found universities in America very fascinating because, well, they're really big, they're really different. So yeah, without any further ado, let's explore. Westwood is a commercial and residential neighborhood in the northern central portion of the West Side region of Los Angeles, California. Spanning from Wilshire Drive to Centinela Avenue, the area encompassing Westwood, Brentwood, and West Los Angeles began development in 1887 when the founders of Santa Monica donated land to the federal government for the National Home for Disabled Volunteer Soldiers. As for Westwood itself, it was developed on the lands of the historic Wolfskill Ranch, which transformed into the home of the University of California, Los Angeles, Westwood Village, and a major corridor of condominium towers and offices on Wilshire Boulevard. One thing that I truly appreciate about the Westwood area is the fact that they have the Westwood Village, which is the university town adjacent to UCLA. And when you're a student right here, it is super convenient because everything is at walking distance. There's supermarkets, there's cafes, there's restaurants, there's even some clothing stores. And yeah, it's just so convenient to be here in a place like Los Angeles where usually you need to have the car to go to any place because everything is so spread apart and far in between. But here, when you're a student, well, you get to live a kind of different life here in Los Angeles where everything is at walking distance. And if you come here as a tourist like me, well, you still get to enjoy the cafes, the bars, and all the things that Westwood Village has to offer. And it's really, really quaint. And when it's a beautiful day like today, well, it's just nice to walk in. Westwood Village, a planned 55-acre suburban shopping district immediately south of the UCLA campus, was only the second such district on this scale ever to be built worldwide. Created by the Janss Investment Company, its boom was complemented by the popularity of UCLA and served not only faculty, staff, and students, but also affluent shoppers from the surrounding upscale single-family home neighborhoods. Opening in 1929, the design was considered one of the nation's best planned and beautifully laid out commercial areas. Harold Janss had hired major architects and instructed them to follow a Mediterranean theme with clay tile roofs, decorative Spanish tiles, paseos, patios, and courtyards. Buildings at strategic points, including theaters, used towers to serve as beacons for drivers on Wilshire Boulevard. Hollywood is known for its movies, and here in Westwood, well, it's no exception. We have a lot of really iconic theaters, and by that I mean that we have a lot of theaters right here that have the old architectural style, which is kind of lost nowadays, but I really love that they have three iconic theaters right here that only show usually one movie at a time, one screening at a time, but I do love to look at the architecture and love to look at what movies showing right here, and it is kind of cool. It is a little bit different than going to malls where there's a lot of movies showing at the same time, but it also shows how much history there is here in Los Angeles and the fact that they still have these theaters, there's uni theaters that show only one movie at a time. And yeah, it's really worth it because usually also when you go inside, the architecture is different, the decorations are cool, the sound, and even the screens are usually really catered to because they're usually owned by people who love the theater, that want to show beautiful movies, beautiful sound, and make people enjoy what Hollywood was about. Two out of the three theaters located in Westwood Village are part of the 1929 Westwood Village Mediterranean-style architectural development. The Fox was originally built in 1930 and first opened on August 14, 1931. A feature of the theater is a 170-foot wide Spanish Revival tower, which features a blue and white metal Art Deco Fox sign, whereas the Fox Bruin Theater is a 670-seat movie palace. Lastly, the landmark Westwood Theater looks much more modern than the other theaters in the area, but it was originally built in 1946. This is also a single theater building, popular for having late-night screenings of niche movies, popular amongst the student crowd. One thing that is very unique to the Westwood area of Los Angeles is the fact that on Wilshire Boulevard, adjacent to the Westwood Village, well, we have a lot of high-rise buildings. And usually these buildings are really rare here in Los Angeles because, well, simply put, we are an earthquake location, so there's quite a lot of earthquakes. And yes, there have been quite a few high-rise buildings here in downtown Los Angeles, but I think that the fact is that they don't really like to build so high because it is kind of expensive to do. But yeah, right here adjacent to Westwood Village, we have a lot of high-rise buildings, and a lot of them are actually office buildings, and some of them are also very luxurious apartment buildings and condo buildings, and it's really cool to look at because you can tell from just the outside and the way that they built these buildings that architecturally they're really cool. There's usually a bunch of little sculptures and a lot of nice little decorations outside of these buildings. So I know that whoever is living right here is living really well, and it's also a really superb location because they're not too far from Santa Monica and the beach, and they're also not too far from downtown LA and obviously the Westwood Village area. So it's a really perfect location, and when you're driving here, it's really splendid and really beautiful to look at. Wilshire Boulevard through Westwood is a major corridor of condominium towers on the eastern end and of Class A office towers on the western end. The neighborhood was developed starting in 1919 and is part of the Platinum Triangle, which is an informal name for 3 adjacent neighborhoods in the Los Angeles West Side area. It includes Beverly Hills, Bel Air, and Holmby Hills. The Platinum Triangle designation refers to the affluence of the neighborhood and its large multi-million-dollar homes. Also in this area there's the Hammer Museum, which is affiliated with UCLA, and is an art museum and cultural center known for its artist-centric and progressive array of exhibitions and public programs. Founded in 1990 by the entrepreneur industrialist Armand Hammer to house his personal art collection, the museum has since expanded its scope, become the hippest and most culturally relevant institution in town. As of February 2014, the museum's collection, exhibitions, and programs are completely free to all visitors. UCLA. I don't think that this Westwood tour would be complete if I didn't actually show the UCLA campus. And this is a really beautiful campus. I come from Europe, so usually seeing these kind of university campuses that are so big and really frequent here in America is kind of rare. So when I first came here to Southern California and I saw the UCLA campus, I thought that this was like a dream come true because it's exactly what you would expect from a big campus. It's what I saw on TV, and now I'm able to see it with my own bare eyes. And this is a really beautiful university too. It's amongst one of the oldest here in Southern California. It was founded in 1881 as part of the normal school system, which was the southern branch of what is known today as the San Jose State University. But in 1919, it became UCLA. And today it's a research university, so it has a lot of really big medical buildings where they do a lot of research, but then they also have a lot of undergraduate classes. It's a really wide campus with really beautiful architecture, and as I mentioned, it's what you would expect from an American university, so it's just beautiful to walk in even if you're not a student. The UCLA campus initially had 4 buildings: Royce Hall and Haynes Hall on the north, and Powell Library and Kinsley Hall, now called Renee and David Kaplan Hall, on the south. The first buildings were designed by the local firm Allison & Allison. The Romanesque revival style of the first 4 structures remained the predominant building style until the 1950s, when architect Welton Beckett was hired to supervise the expansion of the campus over the next 2 decades. Romanesque revival was chosen as an alternative to collegiate Gothic to parallel the climate of Southern California to the warm, sunny weather of the southern Mediterranean. The Janss steps were the original 87-step entrance to the university that led to the quad of these 4 buildings. Today, the quad includes 163 buildings across 419 acres. In terms of acreage, it is the second smallest of the 10 UC campuses. The UCLA campus truly is a versatile place. There's so many things to see, and yes, the architecture is beautiful, but also it has different little sections. Like right here, I'm standing in a sculpture garden. It's called the Franklin D. Murphy Sculpture Garden. And it truly is beautiful. It's really green, and it offers about 70 different sculptures that are from like contemporary to more modern, and some are abstract and others are, as I said, regular contemporary art, so you get to see the different silhouettes of the different people. I like contemporary much more than modern, but I can appreciate both. But it is really beautiful to see it here juxtaposed amongst all of this beautiful nature, all the beautiful trees. And yeah, since we are in Southern California, there's quite a few days of sun, so it's a perfect place to go have a picnic or just to relax and look at the sun and go and visit an outdoor museum. The Franklin D. Murphy Sculpture Garden is one of the most comprehensive sculpture gardens in the United States. Founded in 1967 and dedicated to the eponymous chancellor of the university, this section of the campus was designed by famed landscape architect Ralph Cornell and spans over a 5-acre park-like setting. Not too far from the garden towards the UCLA campus entrance, we can see many big medical research buildings which are impressive to see from their sheer size. The UCLA Medical Center have research centers covering nearly all major specialties of medicine and nursing as well as dentistry, and is the primary teaching hospital for the David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA and the UCLA School of Nursing. On June 29, 2008, the new Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center opened and became fully operational, replacing the older facilities across the street. Due to the intricate building and equipment purchased for it, the new building increased the total cost to over $1 billion. As you guys can see, UCLA truly has a lot to offer, and Westwood really has a lot of things to offer too. But having visited a lot of this area already in this video, I think that this is the perfect place to end this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed coming on this visit of UCLA, Westwood, and just looking at beautiful sunny California. And if you did enjoy it, please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, leave me a comment too, let me know what other areas I should go visit. Let me also know if maybe I should go travel somewhere else in the world and make a video about it. I'm always willing to travel. I love to travel, and I actually have a couple of planned videos in different countries, but that's for the future. It'll be a surprise. But with that being said, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.